Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie Edwards and I'm a personal stylist in London. And today I want to share with you my 5 tips for looking good on Zoom. And these are really small things that you can do that you might not think make a difference, and they'll take you hardly any time to do. But what I want to do today is to show you how the little things really do make a difference. So please do subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this. And also I'd love it if you'd comment and like as well. So over to my top 5 tips. So number 1 is just really simple. First of all, just check your setup. Check that you have got good lighting, that the lighting is in front of you and isn't just behind you when you're backlit because you'll show up dark. Check that your camera is above your eye line so that you're looking up a little bit and not looking down. One thing I really recommend you do as a professional, it's now time to think about getting a webcam and not just relying on the inbuilt camera that's within your computer. It really makes a massive difference on the clarity, and obviously if you want to look crisp and look professional, it's worth having a really good camera. The other thing that's really worth thinking about, we've been in this pandemic a long time. People at the beginning might have been more forgiving of people looking a little bit messy in the background and having, I don't know, everything from washing hanging out to kids' toys and messy shelves. Now I really want you to think about the impression that you're giving with your Zoom calls, and to really think about what is in the background of your camera. So it's really worth at the beginning, before you go live on a Zoom call, is just to make sure that you're prepared and that you've started a camera and done a pretend Zoom and just checked the screen and check what is in the background, just to check there's nothing hanging around the background that you don't want your colleagues to see. So that's my number 1 tip. My number 2 tip is to think about what you've got on your top. Now today what I've done is I've just put on a very plain navy top so that you can see this at the start off, and then I want to show you what it looks like if I then change my top into a lighter top, because obviously when you're showing up on Zoom, all we're getting is this of you. So this is the only bit you've got to make an impression, and often it just looks very dark, especially if the nights are dark and you're doing things in the late afternoon. It's really very dark to just be having a dark top. Now I love dark colours. You can see me, I'm sitting here in this navy one. This is something that I would wear all the time, but I just want to give you a comparison to show you what would look like if I had a lighter top on. So just hang on there. So here I am back with a lighter top, and you'll see that it just brings so much more light up to my face. And I really think it's something that people often don't really think about. And this isn't about wearing really loud clothes, but you can just see a little bit of light comes up, a bit of interest, a bit of a collar. It makes all the difference. So I really want you to think about what you're wearing on the top. And with that in mind, I'm just going to also show you another top, just to show you some different necklines, to see, just maybe you'll think a little bit more about how, when you're just seeing this small part of your screen, that people, that's all they're seeing of you, how when you have different tops on, it is noticeable. So it's worth considering the different tops that you're wearing. So I'm just going to show you another one. So I've just got another cream light coloured top on, but I wanted you to just see that when there's a little bit more interest, it almost means you don't need any jewellery or anything, just to create a little bit of interest. Now I think it's really worth putting clothes on that have got a little bit of interest. Now the other thing to say is that, but not distracting, because what you don't want to do on a Zoom call is be too distracting to people. So just a little bit of interest will just bring the eye up towards your face. So that's why I've put this one on. I'm going to just put one other one on for you, because it's going to lead into the next point that I'm going to make. So now I've got another cream top, but it's a different neckline. And it's just again to show you that you can have different necklines that have got different bits of interest. And obviously this one here shows a little bit more skin, and actually that then leaves room for a little bit of jewellery. So the next thing I'm going to do is just put a necklace on to just show you, again, it's just something else. It might seem really obvious, but some people are just not even bothering to accessorise when they're on Zoom calls. But I want to show you that even the smallest thing is noticeable, and it's worth making that little bit of effort. So I've just added a necklace to this, and I'm really not much of a jewellery wearer, but I do occasionally wear a necklace. And I just wanted to show you that you can see, and again it seems really obvious, but just those little things that other people who are looking at you on the Zoom camera will see that you've made an effort. And it's these really small things that take you maybe a couple of minutes when you're getting dressed in the morning, just to put a necklace on over the top you're wearing, that will just make a difference, and will make you look that little bit more professional. And because it's a bit unusual to maybe be getting dressed at work when you're working from home, these are the little touches that will make you look more professional when you're showing up on the call. And I'm going to take this off now. I'm going to put some earrings on, and just I want you to see that even when you've got a little bit of jewellery, even if it's just a tiny bit, you can still notice it. So I've come back, I've taken the necklace off, and now I've just got my gold hoop earrings on. And they're very minimal, but as you'll see, they still catch the eye and they're still more noticeable than when I don't have any on. So I'm just going to take them off again, just so that you can see the difference, because it's very subtle. But when you're in a sea of faces on a Zoom call, it's the little things that are noticed. So I've taken them off again, and it just looks a bit plain, doesn't it? And that's coming from someone who loves a simple style. But I do know that when you're on calls sometimes, just having a tiny bit makes all the difference. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is nail varnish. Because this is something where you've seen me talking now, you can see my hands. I want to change my nail varnish, and I want you to notice how much you do actually notice, because of all those times you think, oh gosh, it's not worth it, I'm not seeing people in person. You'll see that you really do notice the difference. So I'm back and I've just painted my nails. So if I just carry on talking, I'm sure that you can notice this. I'm sure that you can tell. Now, often again, as I said before, people will think, oh, it's not worth it. I'm not working in person, people I can't really see. It's literally taken me, I wish I hadn't stopped the video. It took me 2 minutes to paint my nails in this colour. And you can see, you can tell. And it's just so interesting to see that we notice these little things. So don't ever think it doesn't matter, because it really does. So I'm just going to go into my final point now, and that's going to be lipstick. So again, I'm someone who doesn't really wear much makeup, but what I've noticed over the last year is that when I'm preparing for a call, if I've got a couple of minutes to spare, sometimes just putting on a bit of lipstick is the thing that makes the difference. So I'm going to stop the video now, and I'm just going to put on one of my favourite lipsticks. So now I've got lipstick on. And if you've seen one of my other videos, which is 5 of the favourite lipsticks for people who don't wear lipstick, you'll know that I'm just not generally a lipstick wearer. But I have been wearing it more since I've been on Zoom. And actually this is one that I love. It's a glossier one. Now, I don't do advertising, so this is just purely a recommendation. It's like a matte lipstick, and can be very fine. You can put it on quite thick if you want to, but it's just so easy to put on. So I recommend this one, and also another one that I've talked about before is the matte MAC Makeup Powder Kiss. Very fine. So if you're someone who doesn't want to sit there looking made up, but you just want to have that tiny bit more polish, that's the kind of lipstick I would go for. It's these matte ones. These matte ones. And my final point, I've lost track, to be honest. So I've probably just gone completely off track, but hey ho, is to think about your glasses. Now, I'm a glasses wearer, but increasingly as I've got older, and these are the ones you might have seen me in before. And I love wearing these glasses, but I think that when we're more and more on Zoom, there's room to have different ones. And firstly, I'll give a tip that if you find that you are on Zoom calls and the light is reflecting in, if you're someone with ring lights and things, you can see the light if I do that, is that if you tilt the glass down, it stops it being so much. That's such a bad way of explaining it, but you'll see. If you've got glasses on and you find that the light that you've got in front of your computer is too bright and it reflects in there, you just have to tilt the glasses down. Anyway, so this is the glasses that I wear nearly all the time. These are very focal. So when I know that I'm just on the computer, I bought these more for when I was shopping with clients. I'd go from walking around the store to looking at a clothes label, and you know what they're like, they're tiny and I couldn't read them. So I got these very focals, which I love. But in the last year, obviously, I've just been pretty much sitting at the computer. So I've got a couple of other pairs with blue lenses in. So these are my ones that I sit in most of the day when I'm working on the computer. You can see these have got blue light in them. And again, if you tilt the lens down, you can see that you get less of the reflection in there. So these are my ones. And I wanted these really lightweight frame ones. So I've got a pair of those. And then these are the ones I've had the longest. And these are just another pair that are just for computer. That I wear, and these are much lighter because I find these other ones much heavier. So I just want you to think about the fact that if you're a glasses wearer, particularly if you're someone who needs them on the screen, there's so many amazing brands now that you can get different glasses, so you don't need to be restricted to just one pair. And that's where you can bring a little bit of personality to your look. People will notice the difference. So those are my tips for showing up on Zoom. Now, all of those little ones independently will make a difference. If you did all of them, you know, if you put lipstick on and some new glasses and put a necklace on and had a light top on, you would look quite different than you might do. So if you go back to the beginning of the video and see me just here without anything in the plain navy jumper, you'll see there's quite a difference once I get to the point when I've got my nails done, got earrings in, and all of those things. So anyway, I hope those little tips were useful to you. Please do, please do subscribe. Please do subscribe to my channel. I put a new video up every Thursday. And in addition to that, if you'd like to make a comment, I'd love to read them. I love hearing from you. So thanks very much for watching, and I'd love to hear how you're getting on. Bye.